Recent terrifying archaeological discoveries that have scientists speechless. Welcome to Ancient History Channel, the place where we step together into the mysterious world of archaeology, where every discovery opens a story never told before. Have you ever wondered, across thousands of years of human history, what secrets still lie hidden deep beneath the ground? Today we will explore recent archaeological findings that have shocked the scientific community into silence because of their astonishing and eerie nature. Archaeology is fundamentally a journey to uncover the traces of those long gone, through fragments of bones, tools, or artifacts. However, not every discovery brings light and peaceful understanding. Sometimes, researchers uncover strange phenomena and signs of suffering and cruelty beyond their imagination. These artifacts are not only physical evidence, but also vivid reminders of tragedy and hidden pain from the past. Are you curious about what dark secrets have been buried in ancient tombs? Or the horrifying burial practices that make scientists shudder? Let's explore now these haunting and surprising discoveries to gain a deeper understanding of a side of history that few dare to face directly. Are you ready? If so, let's begin this journey with our very first discovery. The 300-year-old claw of a wingless bird. Have you ever imagined a giant bird that couldn't fly, equipped with razor-sharp claws so long they could shake an entire mountain? And can you believe that over 3,000 years ago, a creature like this once roamed the earth? In today's first discovery, we're diving deep into an archaeological find that stunned the world. The claw of the giant wingless moa bird, uncovered deep within Owen Mountain in New Zealand back in 1986. Here's the story. A team of archaeologists exploring caves in Owen Mountain unexpectedly stumbled upon a massive claw buried deep in ancient rock and soil. This claw was unlike anything they had ever seen before. It was so enormous that just a single claw could make you imagine a creature of colossal size, possessing incredible strength. This was the unmistakable trace of the moa, the giant flightless bird that once ruled the land of New Zealand thousands of years ago. Did you know the moa was one of the largest birds to ever exist on the planet? Standing as tall as 12 feet and weighing several hundred pounds, the moa was no ordinary bird. It was a prehistoric icon of nature's grandeur. Wingless and unable to fly, it moved slowly but powerfully across the ground, a terrifying presence to other animals of its time. Sadly, the moa went extinct in the 15th century, partly due to the arrival of humans and new predators. That's why the discovery of this strange claw is more than just a precious artifact. It's a key piece helping scientists reconstruct the image of this legendary bird and opening a door to an ancient world still full of mysteries. What else remains to be uncovered about the moa's life, behavior, or even the true cause of its extinction? What if these claws hold the secret to unlocking untold chapters of history? Share your thoughts in the comments below this video. Let's explore and discuss this fascinating mystery together. 174. Ancient tombs, full of treasures from China's Warring States period. When you hear about the Warring States period, you probably picture a time of relentless power struggles between feudal kingdoms, right? But have you ever wondered what everyday life was really like for the people living back then? If you haven't, let me tell you, some of those secrets have just been revealed through an extraordinary archaeological discovery recently announced in Hubei Province, China. Here's the story. In Xiangyang City, archaeologists uncovered a massive cemetery called Baizhuang, containing a total of 176 tombs, 174 of which date back to the Warring States period, spanning from the 5th century BCE up until 221 BCE. But Baizhuang isn't just an ordinary burial site. It's a treasure trove packed with priceless artifacts, offering a fresh window into the culture, society, and daily lives of ancient people from a time with very limited historical records. The tombs were excavated last summer during an infrastructure construction project led by the Xiangyang Institute of Archaeology and Cultural Heritage, and the findings surprised the scientific community. Hundreds of exquisitely crafted pottery pieces, along with numerous bronze items, mostly weapons like swords and spears, plus personal belongings such as combs and jade rings were found scattered throughout the site. All these artifacts showcase the high level of craftsmanship and artistry of that era, rivaling other ancient civilizations. But the most striking find was Tomb M3, the largest in the entire cemetery, measuring over 30 feet long and nearly 16 feet wide. M3 contained a wide array of artifacts, including ritual vessels used for sacrifices, a chariot, and 2 horses buried alongside it. These details clearly indicate this was the resting place of a powerful noble, a leader at the top of the feudal social hierarchy, and serve as evidence of the distinct social stratification during the Warring States period. Imagine the scene: an ancient noble's tomb filled with valuable items, symbolizing status and power and reflecting the unique burial customs and beliefs of the time. This is how Warring States society honored and protected its most important figures. The Baizhuang discovery doesn't just add more pieces to China's historical puzzle. It also sheds light on many aspects of the society, technology, and culture of one of the most complex ancient periods. From the finely crafted pottery to the bronze weaponry, these finds tell the story of a society both flourishing and struggling amid continuous warfare. What's more, with a total of 176 tombs excavated, the scale of Baizhuang demonstrates the complex social organization and diverse class structures that existed back then. This helps archaeologists better understand life and power dynamics during the Warring States, a time when kingdoms fiercely fought for dominance, ultimately leading to China's unification under Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Did you know that thanks to discoveries like Baizhuang, we can now vividly picture a chapter of history once thought lost to time? Every artifact and every tomb is a crucial piece in reconstructing the past, making history come alive like never before. The 3,000-year-old lost legs of an Egyptian queen. In the world of archaeology, where the past lies hidden beneath thick layers of dust and time, sometimes just a small bone fragment, a piece of mummy cloth, or an unassuming object can unlock an entire lost chapter of history. And this time, the missing piece isn't just part of a body. It's the final chapter in the story of one of ancient Egypt's most legendary women, Queen Nefertari. More than a century after her tomb was discovered, scientists have finally confirmed that the mummified legs long suspected to belong to her are indeed hers, a symbol of beauty, power, and intelligence from the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II. The journey to identify these legs began in the Valley of the Queens, the resting place for Egypt's royal wives and princesses during the New Kingdom. In 1904, a lavish tomb believed to be Nefertari's was unearthed. Its walls are adorned with stunning paintings depicting a noble woman standing gracefully beside the pharaoh. But inside the tomb, her body was incomplete. Among the burial goods and evidence marking this as a royal tomb, only a pair of detached mummified legs were found. For over 100 years, the question remained: do these legs truly belong to Nefertari? The doubt was understandable. This land, home to hundreds of ancient tombs, has seen centuries of disturbances. Tombs were reused, floods swept away artifacts, and looters ravaged sites through the millennia. The Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens are underground museums, beautiful yet chaotic, magnificent but disordered. In such a complex setting, certainty is rare. Even artifacts inside a tomb may not belong to the person whose image graces its walls. To pierce this fog of history, an international research team led by Dr. Joanne Fletcher from the University of York, UK, undertook the most comprehensive analysis ever done on a mummy's part. The disputed legs, now preserved at the Egyptian Museum in Turin, Italy, became the focus of years of investigation. The team used radiocarbon dating to determine the tissue's age. Next, X-rays analyzed bone structure and compared the knees to hundreds of ancient and modern samples. They went even further, examining every detail of the embalming technique, from the type of linen used and the wrapping style to the chemical makeup of the embalming substances. The results were astonishing. These legs belonged to a woman aged between 40 and 50, the estimated age of Nefertari at her death around 1250 BCE. The wrapping and embalming materials revealed extremely sophisticated techniques reserved for royalty or the highest social classes. Chemical analyses of the resins and essential oils match those found in other royal mummies of the same period. So there is no doubt, after 3,000 years of wandering, these legs belong to Queen Nefertari, the beloved wife of Pharaoh Ramses II, honored in countless temples and stone monuments. But the significance of this discovery goes beyond simply naming a lost body part. It's a full restoration of the image of a historical figure who symbolized beauty and power. Nefertari was not only the wife of one of Egypt's greatest pharaohs, but also his companion through many critical political events. On surviving carvings, she appears as a model of female authority in ancient times, not just standing behind the throne, but wielding silent influence over the court. According to Dr. Fletcher, Nefertari was not just the beauty beside Ramses, but the silent strength of an empire. Now, with her final body part returned to its rightful owner, a past once thought lost forever has come back to life. In the quiet halls of a museum in Turin, those legs tell a story of memory's endurance, a millennia-long journey to reconnect the broken thread between humanity and history. And they remind us that, no matter how deeply buried, historical truth will always be found, thanks to the intelligence, perseverance, and undying passion of those who seek light from the depths of the earth. The 1,500-year-old vampire child skeleton found in Italy. Archaeologists from the University of Arizona have announced the discovery of a child skeleton in Italy, dating back to the 5th century BCE, buried with a stone deliberately placed inside its mouth. This striking image is believed to be a form of protection, intended to prevent the undead vampire from rising and harming the living during Roman times. The skeleton was excavated from a unique site known as the Infant Cemetery, located in Umbria, central Italy. This burial ground is thought to have been reserved for young victims of malaria, which swept through the region around 450 BCE. Evidence from excavations reveals the remains of over 50 infants, including toddlers and fetuses. What makes this site even more fascinating is the discovery that many of these skeletons were buried alongside Roman grave goods, such as claws, toad bones, bronze cauldrons filled with ashes, and sometimes even puppies buried alongside their owners as loyal companions. David Soren, an anthropology professor who has spent years studying this cemetery, explains that the Romans used many methods of warding off evil, including witchcraft and magic, to prevent malevolent forces from returning after death. Yet, among all the ancient remains uncovered here, scientists were most startled by the child's skeleton with a stone deliberately forced into its mouth. This image immediately evokes the vampire burial rituals common in 17th and 18th century Europe, during a time when vampire legends were widespread. The skeleton is believed to be that of a child around 10 years old, buried lying on its side and deeply interred. Detailed DNA analysis has yet to be conducted, so the child's gender and the exact cause of death remain unknown. However, preliminary studies of the teeth and skull suggest the child likely died of malaria around 1,500 years ago. Why the stone was placed in the mouth remains a mystery. As for the origins of vampire myths, there is no exact historical record pinpointing their first appearance. However, some ancient texts suggest these legends date back at least 4,000 years to the Assyrians and Babylonians in Mesopotamia. In modern times, the idea of blood-drinking demons, or vampires, has appeared in many cultures, especially in Europe. Notably, in the 17th and 18th centuries, northern Poland became known for a peculiar burial custom aimed at preventing the dead from rising as vampires. Typically, this involved placing a brick in the mouth, a stone on the chest, or staking the corpse's legs, all to stop the body from resurrecting and threatening the living. Of course, this is only a theory. To this day, researchers have not found a definitive explanation for why such practices were performed. 6 bodies with a violent death found in terrifying poses on a cliffside. On an island famed for its soft white sands and deep blue waters, where sunlight spills like a golden silk ribbon year-round, you might never suspect a chilling mystery that has baffled archaeologists for years. This is Gran Canaria, a gem in the Atlantic Ocean and part of Spain's Canary Islands. Beneath the glamorous surface of this paradise lies a dark, unresolved story. 6 male skeletons were discovered on a cliffside, all face down, some with hands and feet bound, even thrown with stones, as if they were subjected to a brutal execution rather than a traditional burial ritual. Creepy, right? This eerie scene could come straight from an ancient horror novel, yet it's real, uncovered by an archaeological team led by expert Veronica Alberto. What makes it even stranger is that no one knows who these men were, why they died in such a fearful posture, or what fate led them here centuries ago. All that remains are faint traces carved into the rock, waiting for science to decode their secrets. From the moment excavation began, the researchers sensed something was off. These bodies were not laid out neatly like in typical graves. Instead, they were pressed face down against the rocky ground, some covered with stones. A few show signs of tight bindings, suggesting they were not respectfully buried, but rather violently dealt with in a symbolic manner. Veronica describes it as a violent death, far from a natural passing or accident. Could this have been a punishment ritual or even a sacrificial ceremony? Scientists are still asking the same questions. Another striking detail sparks even more curiosity. All 6 skeletons belong to men with notably strong physiques, especially muscular arms. This has led experts to hypothesize that these men might have been warriors, hunters, or members of a special labor group in their ancient community. But why such a grim end? Were they victims of a purge, executed for betrayal, or perhaps part of a sacrificial rite from a long-lost culture? As excavation continues, it's clear this site is unlike any other ancient burial ground known. There are no grave goods, no organic materials, no tools or jewelry. Everything has been almost entirely lost to time. This absence makes dating the remains extremely difficult. Currently, scientists are awaiting carbon dating results, one of the few tools left that might unlock the door to the past. So, are these the remains of indigenous people who lived here before Spain's conquest? Or the aftermath of violent clashes during the European Empire's expansion after the 15th century? The question remains unanswered. You might wonder how a place as beautiful as Gran Canaria, with its famous beaches like the lively Playa del Inglés and the tranquil Puerto de Mogan, could harbor such a dark mystery. That contrast makes this discovery even more haunting. Imagine, right beneath your feet, somewhere on a cliff overlooking the sea, rests an ancient grave carrying an unsolved curse, and the story is just beginning. The archaeological site is still being expanded, and the team hopes to uncover more clues, a shard of pottery, a fire pit trace, or even a simple leather strap, anything that could piece together the story of these 6 unfortunate souls. Were they betrayed heroes, prisoners of a forgotten civilization, or victims of a ritual lost to history? The journey to uncover the past never ends. This time, it leads us to the edge of a mystery that only grows stranger the deeper we dig. If you love archaeology and the thrill of piecing together history's puzzles, keep your eyes on this strange investigation, because a great secret might be waiting to be revealed on this paradise island. The ancient tomb, protected by 3,000 sacred swords, untouched for thousands of years. Deep beneath the waters of a lake in Suzhou City, Jiangsu Province, China, lies the mysterious ancient tomb of King Hoplu. According to historical records, this tomb rests at the foot of Huqiu Mountain, submerged under a lake about 197 feet wide, with water roughly 16 feet deep. Legend has it that inside this tomb are hidden 3,000 precious swords, sacred weapons never unearthed to this day. China has a long and infamous history of tomb robbing. Many ancient burial sites have been plundered over the centuries, but the tomb of King Hoplu remains completely untouched, an impenetrable fortress beneath the water. After King Hoplu passed away, his son Fu Sai ordered millions of laborers from across the nation to build his father's tomb at the lake's bottom. Knowing his father's great love for swords, Fu Sai buried 3,000 blades alongside him, including a handful of legendary divine swords unlike any other. The first to attempt opening the tomb was the famous King Gojian of Yue. Despite numerous efforts, Gojian could not find a way inside and ultimately gave up. Later, Qin Shi Huang, the famous first emperor of China, also sought to infiltrate Hoplu's tomb. On one occasion, he sent troops into the mountains to seize treasures from the tomb but failed. A remarkable event occurred during the Ming Dynasty. According to legend, in 1512, a severe drought dried up the lake surrounding Hoplu's tomb, revealing signs of a burial chamber. Tang Bahu, one of the renowned 4 talents of Suzhou, quickly organized an excavation. But at the critical moment, local authorities stepped in to stop the dig. Fast forward to 1955, when experts drained the lake using machinery and discovered inscriptions left by Tang Bahu and other historical figures, proving the tomb's true existence. Despite this breakthrough, researchers chose to protect the ancient site and halted further excavation. In 1978, a team tried again. After clearing the mud from the lakebed, they discovered a triangular cave. Breaking through the entrance, they found 3 massive stone slabs blocking the passage, believed to be the tomb's gates. However, these slabs lay directly beneath the famous Tiger Hill Pagoda, Suzhou's iconic landmark. After careful consideration, experts decided that breaking the stones could destabilize the pagoda, so the excavation was stopped. To this day, King Hoplu's tomb remains perfectly preserved, never visited by modern explorers. The mystery of the 3,000 legendary swords inside continues to captivate archaeologists and treasure hunters alike, drawing many to dream of unlocking this ancient secret. The Salt People mummies, thousands of years with skin and hair intact. Deep beneath the surface in the Cherabad salt mine, located west of Zanjan city in northern Iran, lies one of the world's most astonishing archaeological discoveries. This massive salt mine, exploited for thousands of years, still holds rich deposits today. Since 1993, archaeologists have uncovered a series of remarkably well-preserved mummies here, known as the Salt People. Thanks to the dry, salty environment, these ancient bodies have undergone almost no decomposition. Hair, skin, muscle, and bones remain intact, so much so that some initially thought these were recently deceased. Even delicate internal organs like stomachs and intestines are distinguishable in some of the mummies. The very first mummy was found in 1993, an elderly man with long silver-white beard lying beside an iron knife and a pair of gold earrings. Radiocarbon dating places his death around 200 AD. More mummies followed, one about 50 feet away discovered in 2004, another in 2005, and then the remains of a teenage boy in 2006. To date, 6 mummies have been found within the salt tunnels. The oldest dates back to around 11,500 years ago, roughly 9,150 BC. All of the mummies discovered in Cherabad are male, leading scientists to speculate they were miners who may have been killed or died in accidents underground, then sealed by tons of salt, creating a natural mummification process. Some folklore researchers draw fascinating parallels between these salt-preserved figures and ancient mythological beings. It's even suggested that these mummies might have inspired the legendary forest spirits, known as satyrs in Greek and Roman mythology. The first 4 mummies are now housed in the Zanjan Archaeological Museum, while the 5th is preserved at Iran's National Museum, where they are open to the public. However, the final salt person remains entombed in the salt, with half his body still trapped in hardened crystalline layers. In 2008, Iran's Ministry of Industry and Mining revoked the mining license for Cherabad and declared the area an official archaeological research site. Today, experts continue to survey the mine, hopeful to uncover more of these incredible Salt People mummies, preserving secrets from thousands of years ago. Dear friends, in recent years, the relentless dedication of archaeologists has brought us astonishing discoveries that have completely changed how we see the past. These findings don't just offer valuable insights into human history, they also open up exciting new questions. From mysterious artifacts to major archaeological sites, every discovery is a vital piece of the grand puzzle of history. So, which discovery has impressed you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our exciting future explorations. For now, thank you for watching, and see you next time.